Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Spiritual Connection Show. I'm your host, Katie Augustyn. So I'm the spiritual head of the Transformation Center CT, which is located in Westport, Connecticut. I'm also a transformation coach. I'm an energy healer, shamanic practitioner, and we have lots of events and workshops and sound baths, all sorts of stuff happening at the Transformation Center. Every month there's something different. So I'm going to put up our slide, our info, and you can check it out to find out how you can get in touch. You can visit our website, which has all the information on there about events. You can also schedule a private session. You can schedule a coaching session or a healing session, whatever you want. So all the information is right there, transformationcenterct.com, and you can email us or call or text. Okay, so that's great. So many of you know about the Spiritual Connection Show, that it's all about connection, which is one of my core values. I just love meeting new people, finding out what they have to offer, and learning about their spiritual journey. And so that's the idea. So we can connect with each other, and then you can connect with our guest, and through that you can connect with your own spiritual self and find out what's in it for you. Yeah, so welcome to the show. I'm glad everybody's here. So my guest tonight is Ella Calcote, and she is I'm going to show her slide in just a minute. Welcome to the show, Ella. How are you?
Hi, Katie. Thank you. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're able to do this. So I'm going to put up your slide with your contact info, and that's how you can get in touch with Ella. So, I met Ella a few months ago. She came to a TLC networking breakfast, right? And we immediately connected. You know why? I think the initial thing was that I heard her Southern accent. I said, because I'm from Louisiana originally, I said, I have to find out where she's from. We started talking. I just knew that we would get along immediately as soon as we started talking. And then I was fortunate to attend an event that she hosted at Tiny Forest. And I just love the whole vibe, everything that she's creating. So I said, come on the show, let everybody know about this place, because it's still new. So just a little bit about Ella's background. She told me that her life experiences began to make sense as she approached 60. A wave of momentum pushed her out of all of her comfort zones. Yeah, that's amazing. And she left a long-term relationship, a community, and a home she loved. And she moved into her soul's desire and spiritual purpose. And I think that's what's turned into Tiny Forest, is what it sounds like. And you can tell us more about that. But anyway, Tiny Forest is in Milford, Connecticut. And there she works alongside brave and creative women as they look to honor their purpose, build community, friendships, and create a place of belonging. How beautiful is that? So welcome to the show, Ella. Thanks for being
here. Thanks very much.
Yeah, and I always like to start with the first question for my guest, which is, can you tell us just a little bit about your spiritual journey? It sounds like I've already described it right here, but I'm sure we want to hear about it from you. So anything you
Sure. Well, I think like a lot of people, it started when I was really young. I was raised Catholic. I was raised in Texas. And so my parents raised us in the Catholic Church and went to Catholic schools. And while I wasn't compliant, was one of those kids the nuns were like, no, boy, I would hide in the vestibule to pray. And this was like in second, third grade. I just wanted to be close to God. I had that need to be connected to spirit. And as I got older and I got exposed to more and more spiritual teachings, religious beliefs, I continued to search and was pretty much open to anything and everything. I just found it terribly interesting how people really see and connect with with God and what their spiritual power comes from, where their spiritual power comes from. So when I moved to Connecticut, which was a real eye opener after being raised in the Bible Belt, I was really sort of lost. I didn't know where I fit in, or what I really believed and what I didn't. So I just sort of took a step away and listened to other teachings, learned to meditate, and sort of, turned off the noise of what I had been taught growing up. I considered it, but it wasn't, the final end to my spiritual journey. So anyway, I think that what I really hung on to was, what is my purpose? I do believe that we are made from a creator, that there is and that we are all sewn from the same cloth in a sense, and we are all connected, regardless of our tendencies, our beliefs, our upbringing, whatever. And I had to really figure out what that was for me. And I didn't know exactly what it was, but for me, meditation was more of listening. It was a real belonging, or a real sense of the need for me to create what I needed so much, which was community. And a place where I felt like I could fit in, and all my oddities and all my wonderfulness and my ugliness and all that. So when I say I got pushed out of my comfort zones, it was like, it was kind of like Brene Brown says, it's in my bones. It was in my bones that I had to do something different. And that something different was really creating a community for women. And there's, it's a long story, but I'm trying to condense it. And I just felt like, people said, how did you do it? I didn't have a choice. I really didn't feel like I had a choice. I felt like if I was going to honor what my purpose was in this life, that I had to be led. I had to be, I had to trust. And it was just something I couldn't not do. So I jumped, and, people were like, shaking their heads at me a bit, but that's okay. So it's been that for me. And I still am not real clear, but every day I just say, just show up, I just show up. And that seems to be working for now.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. The way you described that you could not do it.
I couldn't, it wasn't an option.
Yeah. So having that community, that was the most important thing. Is that what you felt, that you could be with people who shared the same views, the same values? How would you describe that?
No, I think it was more of creating a space where people could come and find that connection to themselves and to whatever else was out there, whether it was a spiritual connection they were looking for, whether it was connection to other women, like-minded women. Because I think that, what I have found in my life, and certainly after moving to Connecticut, which was a very different experience than living in Texas, is that, I found women saying, I know so many people, I'm involved in all these things. And I go and I show up and I go to these events and I do this, but I never really feel like I belong. Or I walk away and I still feel like I just feel lonely and feel like I never really made a connection with anyone. And I just kept hearing that over and over again. And I had similar experiences. And so that was really, if I can create a space where my intention is to have that, then those that need it will hopefully find their way here. So.
Yeah. Okay. That totally resonates. Yeah. So it is that connection, and we do have that core value in common that
we do. For sure.
Need to connect. It also sounds like it's a place where people can be themselves, in an authentic way, and be valued for that, and be seen.
Yes.
I think when there's a lack of connection, it has something to do with with superficiality, perhaps. Like there's so, you, like you said, you go to events, you're around a lot of people, but it never, it's always up here. It never gets deep. You never really get inside, right?
Right. The feedback I've gotten is people say, I came here and I listened, I didn't know anybody. And some that are more introverted like I am, I'm more introverted than extroverted. I like to kind of sit on the periphery and listen and take things in. And they said, hearing someone else that actually was brave enough to say out loud what I've been thinking and feeling, I went, oh, I do belong, that I have someone there. I'm not alone. And I can show up and not say anything and feel fed, or I can show up and, let her rip.
Yeah. Right. And that's probably where the vulnerability aspect, you referenced Brene Brown.
Yes. Yeah. So, and it's just really very interesting, the variety of women that show up. And, and I used to, when I first started, thinking, well, maybe I should follow up with them. Did they get anything out of it? She was kind of quiet, maybe. And, after, again, the meditation, just listening, it was like, it's really none of my business. It's really none of my business why they're here. And it's not up to me it's not my job, and I think those of us who care about people and want people to feel nurtured and feel like they belong, it's like, oh, I need to do more. I need to do something else to make sure that they know they're okay. And that's not my job. My job is just to invite them to come, and they do. It's just miraculous to me. It really is. I just had an experience a few days ago where a woman that's performing at the retreat that I have that's coming up, she'd never been here. And I got introduced to her through Paige, who's the director of the Milford Arts Council, because I was looking for someone to perform. And so she's like, okay, I'll do it. And so she asked if she could come by. And she came by with a friend. And within 20 minutes, we were in tears. And she brought a friend, and I had a friend here. We were in tears. We were sharing heartfelt stuff. She just said, there's just something magical about this. And I started laughing. And she goes, no, really? And I said, no, the reason why I'm laughing is that every time women come here, that's the experience. They just are like, there's something about this place. And I just feel like I can just be me. And it was just, I don't know what, I really don't, I say it's the women that come here. It's the energy that collectively comes here. And that's what they can expect when they get here. It's not for everybody. Some people are not ready to be vulnerable, but I think just being exposed to that is like, okay, I get it. Now I get what that means. Because it's a word, hear a lot, but what is that? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm sure you have the same experience at your center.
Well, yes, definitely. And I think that, my impression is, or my understanding is that people who are ready or drawn to it, and so they find you and they do. So that's, my experience is those people who are meant to find the center here, the Transformation Center, or me, they find me, and that's, I have to say, I have not met one person who has contacted me or come here that I have not been meant to work with.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing how the universe sends them to you. Yeah. Oh, it's great. Well, so describe Tiny Forest a little bit for those of people who have not been there. Can you just tell us a little?
Well, now I wish I would have taken my my laptop outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you can see. I need to do a little tour. Well, we could have done a walking interview or time together. Well, I'm in Milford in a residential neighborhood. People who've lived in this area, Cedarhurst area, which is not too far from a mall. I could ride my bike to the mall, walk to the mall if I wanted to. They say, I've been going up and down Forest Road for 30 years and I never knew this was here, because kind of behind some of the homes. And so it's tucked away. It's on 2.5 acres. And I have 2 properties. One is the studio, we call it the Nest, which is more of a craft. We use it for crafts, drawing classes, kind of I call it for messy creatives, so we can get messy in there. But we also use it for, we've had yoga classes and meditation classes in there. And then outside is just open property where we do a lot of outdoor events. Kids love coming here for birthday parties. Tomorrow we're having goats, the little miniature goats coming. It's Grandparents' Day tomorrow. Happy Grandparents' Day. And grandparents are bringing their grandkids to get to play with goats. There's a fire pit, so we do stuff around the fire pit. We've had a glamp out. 8 women brought tents and camped out on the site. And then the other indoor space is, it's got some nice amenities. It's got a fireplace, a little living room area, a kitchen. So we do, we like to eat. I'm from Texas, I love to eat. And cook and drink, and we have wine. So, there's a lot of flexibility in the space, which is great. Yeah. So,
Yeah. No, I saw that. I can attest to that. What I liked about it was the flexibility, because you have the indoors for when the inclement or cold or whatever. You have the outdoor, huge, beautiful, and I love that little studio, the Nest.
Isn't that fun?
It's really cool to be.
Well, it is small, which is wonderful. I wanted something very small and intimate. COVID has made it. It should be called the teeny tiny forest at this point, because where I used to be able to fit 30 women in the room, now it's really gotten a lot smaller groups. But the intention is for it to be small so people can really get to know each other, and you don't feel like you're just one more person in a big room and not getting to know everybody. So it's that way.
I think it's perfect. I think the whole thing is just perfect. So
yeah, I love it.
The other thing I'm curious about, I know you have coming up. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to attend because I'll be out of town. But you have a coming up. Tell us about that, please.
Oh, well, it's the first time I've done a retreat, a weekend retreat like this. We've had, half-day retreats and workshops and things like that. But this is starts Friday night with a happy hour, live music. We're going to have a keynote speaker that's still going to be a surprise until we get a little closer. And we have a wine educator here in Milford who's going to be doing a wine tasting and education. There'll be some sharing, of course. Then we're going to do a movie. I think we're going to do Thelma and Louise movie and dinner on the lawn. And then Saturday is going to be just an awesome day. It's going to be we have over 10 women doing workshops on everything from, designing your home where it feels like your sanctuary, and how important that is to have. Of course, don't look at my office, but actually it is sort of my sanctuary. All the things I love around me. To let your yoga dance, to healthy food, to just having fun. We're going to do and there's just so much. There's just so much. And then Saturday night, those that are going to stay over the weekend have a special dinner offsite at Bin 100 here in Milford, group dinner. And then we have a chef that's going to be doing a cooking class, and they'll eat together. Saturday or Sunday is vendor. It's a vendor fair. And Lily McKnight, who is the owner of Lady Maid in Hamden, she supports creative women makers, local artisans. So those local artisans are going to be setting up their booths and their tents, and you can come and shop and have coffee and and play. So I'm excited. I love doing events. I did that for corporate for 20 years, so it's kind of my thing. So I'm really excited about it. And the women that are coming are just unbelievable. These women are, in fact, you've had a couple of them on your show. Donna Vela, she'll be Oh my gosh, we've just got these solopreneurs and entrepreneurial women that are they're really badass women. They really are.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I really wish I could be there. So
Yeah,
this is an early October, right? What are the dates again?
yeah, October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. You can do a day pass on Saturday. You can do the weekend. There's quite a number of options on there. So it's on my website. Um,
Okay, I'm going to put your website up again so people can check it out.
yeah,
I know a lot of people won't see this episode prior to October 1st, but many people will. So
yeah.
for you, this is October 1st, 2021.
Mhm.
So URL, you can register and find out more information there, or call Ella if you have any questions about that.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be a great day to celebrate women. And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so 2% of our ticket sales will go to the Get in Touch Foundation here in Milford. They do education in schools, like I think even they begin in elementary school on through with the product that they developed called the Daisy Wheel. Teaches young women, girls, how to do self breast examinations. So Betsy over there is terrific, and it'll be great to support her cause.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that does sound great. What a
Yeah.
good idea to bring that into it. You know?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm sure it's going to be fabulous. Yeah,
Fabulous. Yes.
it's also a good example of what you're doing there of things you do otherwise. You know, some of your workshops, your outings, and I hope you'll do another one like this retreat, or because I also love to go to events where there's a lot of different vendors and you can meet people and find out what they have to offer, and you're all there in the same place in person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. And, part of what Tiny Forest is about is bringing women in that are solopreneurs, newly starting out, trying to develop their businesses, because these are all heartfelt businesses, heartfelt makers, heartfelt solopreneurs who really want to give, who want to create a better world, whatever that means. It can be through so many different the catalysts, for these transformations are amazing. It could be through food, it could be through yoga, or kind of the ones that you would normally think of. But there's some really interesting ways that women are connecting with each other. I love it. So to promote their businesses and bring them into the spotlight of, if your heart is longing to do something, then these women have listened and followed that, and want to support that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you feel that's part of your mission, is to help support
Yes.
others who are starting out.
For sure. It's not
So
it takes a courageous soul. But that's I think just in the world in general is, giving each other that little, I don't know, that support and that by example. I did it, you can do it.
Yeah, which reminds me, of the TLC group that we both belong to. That's how we, and Beth Lee's that. Yeah, no competition. What is her motto? Is like the light of a candle burns brighter in a gathering, something like that. I can't exactly remember, but the idea is that we make each other brighter and stronger.
Yeah.
And better. And that's a great organization. If people who are watching are not familiar with it, you can just go online and check out Tribe TLC, like Total Life Care. It used to be, but now it's just TLC.
Yeah.
And, Beth started that in Fairfield County, Connecticut. Then she expanded to where you are in New Haven County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also been, as an example, Beth and you, Katie, have helped me expand Tiny Forest into Fairfield County. So it really is, this wonderful flow of energy that women are sharing. So
yeah, it's a synergistic thing, because when you think about it, what I started here is a little different from what you started, but it's reasons and the same. People find it when they need it, that type of thing. And there's and she's also in Westchester County. That actually.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
in New York, Westchester County, New York, which happened before New Haven County. But anyway, I think pretty soon it's worldwide.
Let's make it so.
Yeah, let's do it. I think,
Do that.
I mean, it's just such a great, a great idea, and people just thrive. It's just like the whole idea is to have everybody thrive and each other's.
And watching women thrive. I also love that. I don't know if this is a Texas thing, but that's my point of reference is, I just remember that the importance of elders was really, encouraged, that you had older women teaching younger women, and of course the church, older women taught, and were there as mentors, were there as support, helped with the children, those kinds of things. And I feel like I've gotten a bit away from that. So one of the things that I've noticed, and I have a daughter she's 39, saying, I think it's great that seeing women your age, seeing women my mom's age and older, really doing what they love to do. A lot of us have left corporate, saying it was just not for me, but I had a family to raise. I was a single mom, which I was a single mom. I didn't have a choice. And really stepping out of those patterns, into in their 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
To me, it's really crazy. Women in this age group my age group typically, and is like 45 and over, although I have women sometimes are like, I'm 37 and I love what you do. Can I still join? Yeah, you can. But women in this age group are going through so much transition. Women are finding themselves, a lot of times they're divorced for the first time, or maybe in their 70s, their husband has passed or their partner has passed. Their kids have all got their own lives and have moved to California. Their friends have moving to retire. I just experienced that this year too. My very best friends have moved away to retire. And it can be a very lonely time. And of course, then you add on that a lot of us are caring for our elderly parents. So those commitments to that are sort of squeezing us into a little bit of isolation. So it can be a really tough time for a lot of us. I have women who say, my husband died, and she's like in her late 60s, early 70s. She said, I've never written a check. I don't even know anything about our finances. I have no idea what I'm going to do. So we do financial programs for women that need budgeting, need to know, how do I earn more money? How do I invest money? I don't have enough money. I have a lot of money, but I don't know what to do with it. So it's all those things, it's the practical things, but also the other things that we care about.
Yeah. That's a great combination and really good points. So much for sharing all of this, sharing yourself and everything you have to for us. It was really a pleasure getting to know you better.
Oh, well, thank you for the opportunity. You can tell I can talk about this all day.
And here again is Ella's contact info, tinyforestct.com. Yeah, so you can contact her there. And I'll quickly put up the Transformation Center CT info. And that's my spiritual name, Mataji, transformationcenterct.com. So thanks again, Ella, for being here.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you very much.
All right.
It was a joy.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.